Hey everybody, welcome to Kiss.
Keep it simple, sister.
I love that. So we've had quite a time of it this past month, January. Um, and I had just been mentioning to Diana um that it felt like it felt to me so fast. It just like was kind of like a blur. And yet there's all these memes saying that it went on forever, like, like the 100 days of January or something like that.
We talked about it a little bit on the our last podcast.
Mhm.
Um, Same thing for me. Like I'm seeing all that, and I'm like, "What do you mean January's dragging? It's not dragging; it's flying by." And
Yeah.
now February's flying by too. We're almost in the middle of it.
Well, yeah, I kinda I was sort of surprised because 'cause I'm like, "Oh, my anniversary is next week."
Okay, so last year and the last year, well, there have been a lot of years. There have been things happening in our lives, and
Yeah.
last year, Wedge and I both forgot our anniversary, which was good for him because, he would be in trouble if he forgot.
Yeah.
But we had a lot going on and anniversary just kind of slid through there.
Yeah. It's you can celebrate you don't have to celebrate it on the day. I started a long time ago doing this thing, where this happened because, my, I had gotten divorced from my ex when my daughter was really, really young. And so I wouldn't have her sometimes for a birthday or for Christmas or, these special days and stuff. And I had two things I adopted. One was that, it doesn't matter what day the thing happened on. You can celebrate it on any day you want to celebrate it on.
Mhm.
So, Christmas could be a week later. It didn't matter. And that's what we would do. The second thing that I initiated was the whole unbirthday thing, which I think I've
Love it.
mentioned before, you
Yes.
know? And that's where, like, we're just having a tough day, tough go of it. And I'd look at her and I'd say, "Is it your birthday today?" And she'd go, "No." And I'd be like, "It's not mine either. I think it's time for an unbirthday party." And we would go to the
Fun.
movies and, get cake and do some, like really fun stuff. So I don't think that, remembering those exact dates, but it is weird to look back and go, "Oh my God, we had all of this stuff going on that it wasn't even like a thought in our minds." That's kind of trippy.
Well, so many things went down in January and even the first week of February, and so many things are going down daily all around us. And
Yep.
I feel like that makes it seem like it was a long time because so much has happened.
Hmm.
But yet, in the middle of it, I feel like it's speeding by.
Yep.
Weird.
Well, okay, before I was about to jump into our topic, but I want to just go over a little thing here just in case for first timers.
Okay.
Um, this whole podcast that we do, it's all about the tips, tricks, techniques, and products that Diana and I have come across over our vast years of, intense exploratory experiences into what's going to make us happier and feel better and, just vibe brighter and stuff. And so we just wanted to get on and share this stuff. It's you can think of it like life coaching, or hey, a girlfriend having, a cup of coffee with you and just talking to you about some, sharing, commiserating, but also offering a light at the end of the tunnel kind of thing.
Yeah. And we were trying to be up until now, we were trying to be very specific about we're going to talk about this, we're going to talk about that. We decided that it would be better if we had a starting point and then just talk about what we're going to talk about. Hopefully everybody likes that. And if there's something that you have that you want us to start with, who
Yeah,
knows
let
where
us
it
know.
might go,
Yeah.
comment and we would love that or send us a direct message or whatever.
Yeah, because
And if you're
it's
not part of the Facebook group, we haven't talked about that in a little while, I
oh
think. If
yeah.
you're finding us on YouTube or where else are we? Spotify or
Yeah, but
I
mainly
don't know where we are.
YouTube.
Anyway, go to Facebook and look for Kiss Keep It Simple Sister podcast group, correct?
I think it's Kiss Keep It Simple Sister. I think they can find it through that, but the link is down below too.
Yes, and join us there,
Mhm.
and that's where you can comment because we really our intent is to have like a little community going here, and that we all talk about what we all want to talk about.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not like we're lagging for conversations because this is, Diana and I look at what's going on in our lives, what's going on around us. And we know that if it's happening to us, if we're experiencing this, more than likely, we're going to be reaching a vast amount of our audience because this is mainly for women. I mean, men can watch this and they can get a lot out of it. And they can certainly get into a woman's mind by listening to this. But I mean, so it's just kind of general help, but then a lot of it is really geared towards we're nurturers. We see the world from the perspective of being nurturing or responsible for the family and our friends and the people around us. So it's
Yeah.
coming from that perspective.
Right. And even if you're not going through exactly what we're going through, some aspect of it I think will strike a nerve. And hopefully some aspect of the tips and tricks and all that stuff that we're sharing will help you in some way.
Yeah, excellent. So what's
Yes.
on your mind today, Diana?
Okay, and this is how the whole podcast started. Samantha and I call each other, and what's on my mind, I tell her, and what's on her mind, she tells me. And then she talks me off a ledge, and I talk her off a ledge, and she gives me the woo woo, and I soak up the woo woo. And so, what happened to me this week, and it's really funny because I didn't get a chance to watch our podcast that just dropped last week until today. And in it, I was all about raising your vibe and doing your like all the things that I try to do and my what would Diana do. And this week I had two seriously bummer days, and that is not naturally how I exist, and I'm not used to it. And I was like, what in the world is happening here?
So
Like,
did anything precipitate it? Did
um
a major event happen or anything like that?
well, like, I no, not really. I woke up with a headache, and I get those weird barometric pressure headaches. And
Mm,
so I can tell you if a storm front is coming in, and it doesn't matter whether it's dropping or rising. I
yeah,
get a sinus kind of headache
that's
when that happens, and it'll knock me out. And I woke up the first day I kind of had the funk. I'm gonna call it the funk. Um, I woke up with a headache, and then I was like, I don't care what I do today. I don't care. I'm leaving my pajamas on. I'm gonna put on a fluffy robe. I'm gonna go sit on the couch. Maybe I'll watch TV. Maybe I won't watch TV. It doesn't really matter. But the whole time I was going through it, I
Mhm.
was like, this is weird. Why
Yeah.
don't I want to do anything? Why can't I do anything? Why do I not care? Because usually I care.
Uh-huh. Well, and you're also, you're Aries and we're all about go, go, go. Like,
Mhm.
we don't just sit there and go, I think I'll read a magazine. It's like, okay, that thing over in the corner needs to be dealt with. I'm gonna, get up and then that leads you to five other things because we're just go oriented. Not
Well, when
goal.
I get up in the
Goal is
morning,
go oriented.
go, go goal.
Yeah.
Um, and then so I was like, all right, well, I'll just give myself a veg day. I'm gonna veg. So I vegged. Then I got up the next day and I was still a vegetable. I was like, yeah, I probably should go to the store or do a load of laundry. I don't want to. No, I don't feel like doing any of that. I'm not going to do it. Then I call Samantha and I say, what are the solar flares doing?
No, no, no.
What's happening?
You asked the Schumann
Oh,
resonance.
Schumann resonance. Well,
Yeah.
it used to be solar flares. Now I know it's the Schumann resonance. And usually when I ask her, there's all kind of craziness going on. And so it kind of makes sense that I feel a little bit off, that my energy feels a little bit off. Um,
But do you remember what I said? Because this is kind of funny.
you said that Schumann was fine. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure.
And yeah. And so what's funny about it is you asked me a question, I looked it up and I answered.
Yeah.
I didn't think to check the solar flares. And so so last night someone posted in the group or yesterday in this study group I'm in, they posted about how we've had like 13 like CMEs and of this category and five of this category and like the sun's just been popping it off and everybody's feeling it and are you feeling it because I'm doing okay but my husband's down and blah blah blah. 'cause it affects us differently depending on what's coming out from those CMEs, and I'm not gonna even get into that, but,
That's awesome
where
science we don't need to talk about. Well,
no,
and
no, no, no,
normally
no. It's woo. It's
oh,
actually
that's
woo.
awesome woo we don't wanna talk about. Well, it's just deep woo.
Yeah.
You gotta put
It
on your hip waders and get into the woo with that one.
yeah.
Um, the, uh and I used to always say, "Are there some what's happening with the solar flares?" Then when I heard about the Schumann resonance, then I shifted over to that, but it's really a combination. I mean, like, the solar flares didn't necessarily affect the Schumann resonance, and sometimes they do and sometimes they don't, right?
Yeah, it all depends on I'm not well, okay, so I'm not a space weather person, so
Mhm.
I really and I'm struggling to understand it myself, but the Schumann resonance has to do with, like, measuring the magnetic something of the like, it'll affect the birds, flying and stuff like that, things like
Uh-huh.
that. Whereas, and solar flares can as well, but the solar flares affect more am I saying this right? Correct me if I'm wrong, folks, but I thought it affects like the solar, like our electrical grid and things like that. Like it's, um, so I mean, they both affect us because it's energy. It's
Right,
just
and we try and
kind
keep
of,
our energy up,
mhm.
and sometimes it's easy and sometimes it's hard, and that has an effect on it. We don't really take that into consideration until, like, I just I wonder because I have these "What would Diana do?" I knew I could stand up and dance and I would probably feel better. I knew I could go out and take a walk, but it's cold here, and I would probably feel better, but I didn't, and I didn't. And then you told me it was okay, and then I was like, "Okay." I got permission. I got a permission slip. I was
Yeah.
authorized.
Oh, you are authorized. Well, because the thing is, we our nature, and I'm not just saying Aries, but in this world, we're crazy world we're living in. We like push, 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 push. It's always just push. Like you gotta make things happen. You gotta work for the money. You gotta, get the kids fed, got the, whatever it is. And all of the spiritual treaties, all the spiritual um what would you say, global thinkers or whatever, you know, and channelings that are coming through and all this kind of stuff are all about you have to slow down. You have to slow down. And I just want to go in our world, you
How does that
we
happen?
can't.
Right.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
can't slow
yeah,
down.
right.
And yet that's continually what they say. And so like when you said I can't. Like, I just can't today. And I'm like, don't. Obviously, you're being like clocked over the head, being told, take it easy. Like, this is the time to just, and so, okay, little woo is, when those solar flares are coming in, they are affecting your energetic system. They are affecting you.
Yeah.
Um, and I'm just going to drop a few things. You know, supposedly they are rearranging our DNA, like the crystalline structure of our DNA and stuff. And
Which is a whole 'nother story.
yeah, um, but there's like supposedly messages, there's things coming through. But whatever it is, we feel wiped out. So it can be irritability, not feeling good, having lethargic, or it can be some people like the thing is the list, you just sit there and go, well, yeah, that and that, not that, that, okay, but that could be anything. But it's like a list of like 20, 25
And
things.
different people are feeling different things
Yes,
at the
some people
same
are
time.
energized. Yeah, and you were just like, so to me, I feel like when you're feeling that kind of malaise kind of thing where you just like, what the hell is wrong with me? I think that you're getting some major energetic uploads or downloads, sorry. I think that things are being rearranged inside of you and your body just needs to take a break. Do you need to tell someone else to take a break?
The red sign is up. He's holding up a half of a sub, which I told him 14 times, "Do you want me to get you that half a sub from yesterday before I sat down here?" And I tried to ignore him. Did you see me try and ignore him? And then he held the sub up like this.
Everyone's clocking it. That's so funny. That this is Diana's life. Like you just want to put your hand up and go, no,
Well, I almost did.
do
Talk
it.
to the hand.
Oh my god.
But I came up with this system to, because when my husband had his stroke, short-term memory is difficult for him now, so I went back into my teacher days, and I have a red paper on my door, or a green paper, or a yellow paper, and when it the red paper says, "Stop, stop, recording, busy, don't bother her, leave her alone," when the red paper is up.
Oh my god. That
And the
is
problem is that he has to walk past my little French doors to my office to go into the bathroom, and
he can't help himself.
no, really, and I wanna get mad, but he can't help himself.
Yeah.
So anyway, sorry for the distraction. And usually I'm doing a million things for him or whatever. Those days I was just like, "Do you think you can make yourself a sandwich?"
What I'm looking at is the amount of energy in your body right now, because you guys like, and I don't think that we were on video. I think we were just talking. And you were so wiped out, uninterested, and the energy like you just showed when you did that. I'm like, you would not have done that a couple of days ago. You would have just been like, oh God,
No.
no, you wouldn't be
It was
recording.
it was all I could do to move myself from the couch to the bed. All I could do. I didn't even wanna decide whether to watch stuff about Diddy or who did, because I do my Diddy Do It reels, and, like, I should have been doing research. You know how I don't know if everybody does this, but I'm a serious multitasker. So,
Mm,
if I'm gonna sit down and watch TV, I'm gonna be opening the mail, I'm gonna be organizing the calendar, I'm gonna be cleaning something, I'm gonna be folding some laundry, whatever, that's just what I do.
yeah.
And every time like, fleetingly, it came by. Just move the laundry from the washer to the dryer. And the message in my head was, "No, don't bother. Don't bother."
Well, and so people need to like, okay, we're giving we're authorizing everybody in this moment. When this stuff is hitting you, stop trying to push through it. Like
Yeah.
you're
Well,
not.
and when you authorized me, I was like, "All right, I'm just gonna feel this. I'm gonna take a nap if I feel like it." And you know that song, "I took a nap. Da 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 da. I took a nap." It's on, like, Instagram Reels and stuff like that, and I don't know where it first came from, but it keeps running through my head, "Take a nap,
Well, the one that
take a
like you're
nap."
saying that, and the only thing that's coming to mind is that song "Cause I Got High."
Oh, well, maybe that's where it came from. I don't know.
It's like, this guy
Not
does
real
this stuff,
sure.
stuff is happening. He's like, "Cause I got high, cause I got high, cause I got," and so you're saying that, and that's the only thing I can relate to, and it's so funny because 'cause I'm going, "No, that song is not in my." I was about I almost said Rolodex. That's what came to mind. Oh my god, at least
Alright, somebody commented on one of my reels that I was 70 years old like they were, and I should just stop talking about Oprah and the sensationalism. And I wanted to say, "You must look really good for 70 if you're thinking I'm looking like you."
that's a weird one.
Right? People
Yeah.
are just mean. People are mean on that real stuff, and I try not to let it get to me, but I do not look like I'm 70.
Mhm.
FYI, I'm 59 for another few days.
Well, I wanna what I wanna suggest, to everybody who's listening to this, if you're a member of our Facebook group and you're facing I'm putting this out here, okay? You're facing something and you just aren't feeling it. You're just not sure, or you feel like you really have that nudge to do something, but again, you aren't getting the feedback you need. Put it in the group. Put it in the group. We'll authorize you. And here's the thing. If it's some really dumb shit thing that you really shouldn't be doing and you need someone to pull the reins back, we will not authorize it.
So the funny thing about this authorization is the whole time I was a teacher, I was the person that people came to just, like, run things by me. Like, "Do you think I should go talk to the principal about blah blah blah?"
Mhm.
And I would say, "You don't really need to. You know about asking for forgiveness, not permission. I'm going to authorize that for you." And so anytime anybody wanted authorization, they would come to me. So if you need authorization, I'm here for you. Sam's here for you,
Mhm.
or we'll try and steer you in another direction.
Well, and I think, okay, so we're talking about like what you felt and all that kind of stuff, but I think the deeper message is that you're paying attention to that nudge that your body's giving you,
Yeah.
because that literally is okay. Let me give you an example of a nudge that happened to me
Okay.
this morning. Or no, the nudge was last night.
Uh-huh.
I came into my office and I looked over at I have those bifold doors for
Uh-huh.
my closet because my office is actually a bedroom. Um, and I have these spiky things down because my cats, for whatever reason, like to come in and spray against those. It's disgusting.
Ugh.
But they've chosen that as the what is it, demarcation spot. Like
Oh
it's
my
just what they
gosh.
got it. So I have these spiky things there. Well, I had picked up one of the spiky things to use out in the living room, and these are real world problems, people. So I know someone can relate. Um, and so I didn't have enough to quite stretch across. So I kind of, like had a little space in between each. And there's one I was looking at as I'm walking out my door, and I'm like, a cat could scooch backwards and pee there. And then I'm like, Sam, you're being ridiculous. And yet I'm going, I don't, I should be pushing that over a little bit. And then I mean, I'm sitting there going, okay, I'm rolling the dice. Like I knew that because I was ignoring the nudge. Well, my
Mhm.
husband comes in this morning and he replaces the smoke detector, and he says, I can hear him. I'm in the shower and he goes, Sam, where's the My Pet Peed stuff, which is fabulous stuff. I highly recommend it. Because it does it for all kinds of things, not just cat pee. But
People pee. I've used it for people pee,
uh,
just so you know. It's
yeah,
good.
amazing. So
It's like an enzymatic something, right?
yeah, yeah, it's mainly hydrogen peroxide and some other stuff. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And so he asks me, and I'm like, uh-oh. And so I come out and he goes, yeah, I was changing the smoke detector, and he goes, and I looked down and one of the cats had come in, and he goes, and that cat went right in between and sprayed. And I'm just like, okay, these
And you
nudges.
know better. You know better. You should be listening to the nudges.
Yep. I mean, but here's the thing, when you're getting them for, I mean, like that was okay, if I don't do that, there's going to be a mess. But when you're getting them like for yourself, especially, like I feel this, I don't, and if it's telling you to slow down, you need to slow the fuck down
Yeah,
because your body is generally begging you. Like there's something going on that it's trying to sort itself out, and it just needs you to just stop for a bit so it can boost things up, reorganize, do
right.
whatever it's got to do. And that's not woo woo, that's whatever. Your
Yeah,
body's begging you to slow down, and if you don't, you'll really end up paying for it. Cuz
right.
then your body's running on like reserves,
Use.
and it's like something's going to go, you know?
Right. Well, then I realized that I had forgotten. So I don't know if you guys do this, but I have a little pill case Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever, and it has my little pills in it, and so I fill it all up. What?
No, that's right. I forgot about this part of it.
Yes. So I usually fill it all up, and you know that I like the lab products and the Morvita, and so I was like doubling up on my Morvita, thinking maybe my immune system needs to be boosted or whatever. So I did
Yeah.
do that those 2 days, but then I looked back in my pill case and I had forgotten my Activate, which is part of the system. So if there's Morvita, and then normally I take Activate in the morning and then cleanse and sleep at night. And it's a nootropic, so it kind
Mhm.
of boosts your energy, it kind of helps you focus on things. And I think my body needed to slow down, but I think the fact that I didn't take the Activate also made a huge difference. And I have never done that before, to see that it has been making a difference in
Yeah.
my energy levels and my attitude.
I think it would have, because the thing is, I swear by this stuff as well. Like it is just, it's amazing. And,
Yeah.
and I, you guys have heard me talk about my ADD and all that kind of stuff. And so it takes away that brain fog. And I know when I haven't taken it, I know that I am 20 to 30% less in the zone. And so I think that, I think you would have been clearer about, I'm not feeling this. I need to rest. You wouldn't have been as moody about it. It would have been very clear to you
Yeah, because
that,
it made me mad.
yeah,
'Cause I was
you would have,
like I was struggling. I was like, "I don't like this. I want it to stop. What do I
uh-huh.
need to do?" I don't feel like doing anything.
Yeah, so I don't think that's trying to overcome the
Mm.
feeling or the messages you were getting.
Right.
You know, and it's funny because i- I do this. I mean, and so I wonder if you do. I'm sure other people do too, is that when you start to feel off, like for whatever reason, like you get that lazy kind of feeling, and this isn't what you did, but I tend to stop taking my supplements when I start to go downhill, when I start to, I'm getting better about it now. Yeah, like you, I double up on Morvita and I throw my baobab powder in, and I throw in that high, what is that? It's not high energy, the vitamin C stuff that you get off the shelf at the,
Emergency?
yeah, emergency. And I'll throw that. Like there is so much vitamin C in there because baobab itself has got tons.
Yeah.
And I'll down that. But so I'm better about it because there's been too many times in the past where I sort of let it all go by the wayside because I'm not feeling good. And so here you stop doing what was beneficial for you because you've
Yeah.
gotten a little bit sick, and then you're not even supporting your body. Like, so you're doubling down on feeling crappy.
Right, and upped my water, all the things that I know I'm supposed to do. I think I told you this. I walked outside. I'm in Pennsylvania, and it's 42 degrees, and it had snowed, but all the snow melted, and I was like, "I'm gonna go outside and stand in the grass and ground. I'm just gonna do it." So I walked out to get the mail in my bare feet, walked across the grass. It was mucky, mucky, bleh. And then I was like, okay, there's a box that flew over there. I'm going to walk more in the grass. Let me walk more in the grass. And I told Sam that I really probably should have even stayed out there longer
Uh-huh.
than I did. It helped a little bit, but I almost felt like I should go out and just do a face plant in the grass, like ground my whole face and body.
Yeah, you've seen
But
those
I'm
memes
better
of
now. I'm
people in
good.
the
It's
flower
good.
boxes and they're throwing the dirt over them and
Yeah.
stuff. And um, okay, so that leads me to say this then, um, because I did this the other day, and I should have thought to say this to you, but it just doesn't, you try to keep this stuff on your mind, and that's why it helps to have community,
Yeah.
because somebody thinks
Right.
about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like, but I should have asked you. I mean, granted, you needed the downtime.
Right.
However, again, some of those icky feelings you were feeling, and you have become so much more aware of energy. You've opened up so much that, a lot of times we pick up on a collective feeling, or we pick up on someone else's feelings. We grow
Yeah.
more empathic, is what
Yeah.
happens.
Yeah.
So, the go to when you start to feel off, out of sorts, is immediately to ask yourself, is this mine? Because your body doesn't lie to you. If it's not yours, you will feel a shift in your body. So, um, as an example of that, I um, I have this thing that ever since 2023, um, I've had this sense of anxiety in my body. Now, the thing is, I am not an anxiety prone person at all. I didn't know what it was. I even went to the doctor to ask if my heart, yeah, if my heart and lungs were functioning okay, or did I have something wrong with my diaphragm because I was going like that. And, it's almost like after you have a really big cry and you kind of,
Mhm.
and it hits me every once in a while. And so it's taken time for me to understand that I'm picking up on collective anxiety, which there's such a boatload of it in the world right now.
Yeah.
So, and it ramps up when something, when something major is going to happen, or it's just like the collective is kind of, and so starting after Christmas, it was ramping up again. And I remember at one point, I just it was sometimes towards the end of January. Um, I just for some reason thought, "Oh, Sam, just ask if it's yours because I know it's not mine." But it just didn't occur to me. I mean, I've been doing somatic stuff trying to get it out of my system. I said,
Mhm.
"Is this feeling I'm feeling mine?" And I immediately went to neutral. Like it was like, huh. Now it doesn't mean I don't
That's
still,
a great strategy.
yeah, and I still get the feeling, like, and I have to remind myself, I have to say it
Uh-huh.
again because my spidey senses are wide. I've worked on them being wide open. And
Yes.
so I'm meant to experience and feel this stuff so that well, I don't know what the next step is with it, but I've worked myself to the point that I do feel this stuff. I am aware and I don't want to not be aware. But
Uh-huh.
but for God's sakes, give me a break. Like every once in a while I need to not have that feeling in my
Well,
system.
and big weird things are happening. I mean, humongous fire in California. And I know
Mhm.
you were feeling that. I was feeling it too, but I
Yeah.
didn't know that I could ask myself, is this mine?
Yeah.
I think that that's a great strategy. And then, planes and helicopters ran into each other, and then another plane went down. And, like all these things on the news, which I know I've talked about this before. I try really hard not to watch the news, but
Mhm.
it was everywhere. So, there was no avoiding it. And I was taking on, and maybe that was part of what was going on with me too. I don't know what the timing was on all of those different events, but
It was after the planes had gone down, but it was during solar flares.
yeah.
So, but like mine, I can just okay, not getting political. This is not political. This is just me telling you about like how we know that there's all the stuff about Doge going on, right? And so I'm getting heightened anxiety from that.
Mhm.
I personally don't have heightened anxiety from it. I understand the structures of our government and all that kind of stuff. I'm very neutral about that kind of stuff. So I know that I'm not feeling anxiety about it. But all I have to do is just stop and connect into that. It's like it is a any of these things, they're like collective thought forms. They're almost beasts of their own. Like, how we create kind of a, granted, some hauntings and houses can be real, but then there's a lot of times that that haunting may leave, but we've created this thought form, that this energetic thing that lives on. And so it'll continue to act as if, even though it is no longer that being that was there doing that, and that's one of the tricky things about clearing houses of stuff like that. Like
Uh-huh.
people have
Uh-huh.
to be willing to let the thought forms go. So you have this collective bundle of energy, this, whatever. And so it's like I'm tapping into that and I have to keep going, okay, back down from it. This isn't
Mhm.
mine. This is, so that's what I'm saying. It's interesting when especially when you know what your normal state of being is and you feel that malaise, depression, or you feel the anxiety, or you feel, on the fun part of it can be kind of fun is that you can tap in when, like, for me, it's really bad when I go to parades because I'm so tapped into the collective energy of euphoria, the
Yeah.
excitement, the, energy, and all the kids. Oh my God. Like it's just boom, boom, boom. And
Mhm.
I'm literally in tears. I mean, the thought that comes into my mind, it's so crazy. It's like, God, humanity is amazing. Like that's literally how I see it. And that sounds, and it's not being like I'm so much better or anything like that. I'm marveling at us, like
Yeah.
that we can contain and express that much joy, that I can stand in the group and just be in tears over the beauty and the intensity of it. It's really kind of sappy too.
Well, the thing is, I think more and more people are getting to that stop and smell the roses kind of thing, um,
I like that.
collectively. And if we can, and here I go, woo. If we can raise the collective energy and the collective thought platforms like you're talking about, and
Mhm.
more to the positive, more to where we're going, more to the love, more to the light, more to all of that.
Mhm.
I I just hope, I know everybody that's on here is probably thinking the same, mainly the same things that we are, that
Or they're
things are
trying
messed
to
up and it
step
needs to
out of
get
it.
fixed, and
Yeah.
how can we get ourselves out of it, and how can
Yeah.
we help others get out of it?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Wow. That was a good conversation.
yep. And I'm good now. In
Just so you guys know, Diana's feeling
case
so
you were
much.
worried, I'm okay.
Yeah. No, and it did hit me, which was funny because this was even, like again, short-sighted. Like we just forget these things. But somebody had put um in the group about the CMEs, that I mentioned that, when I said, it's this, Diana. And then it's like I said it was almost like I was spiritually roofied because I forgot about it 15 minutes later. And I'm laying in bed in like in agony with my neck was out of sorts and I had this headache and it had been going on all day long. And I don't know why, like it didn't strike me. Oh, puppy love. I don't know why it didn't strike me, that, oh, it's because of this. I was thinking I need to take medication. I'm starting to, not feel good. What in the world are you doing?
Everything fell. The prophylactic on the thing came out. I got issues. All right, can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay,
We're
so
still rolling because we are not
she
at
was
any.
barking and I tried to pick her up and then I knocked all my stuff. This is Daisy. She's got a necklace now. She's a pain in my butt. She obviously did not see the red sign either and pushed herself right through the closed door.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Well, okay. Everyone just soak in the cuteness of this puppy.
This is Daisy. And if you were here, she would lick you, and her breath smells like her butt. But it's not from licking her butt. She's a miniature Maltipoo, and apparently these little dogs have ass breath
So that's
in
where the poo
general.
comes
No
from. Yeah.
matter no matter what you do, what kind of brushing, and what kind of anyway. If she wasn't so cute, I wouldn't let her near my face.
Sorry. I'm like, this is such the perfect way to end this because this is life as
Over
we
here,
know
that's for sure.
as we know it. Yeah. You guys, thank you so much for joining us today. Please comment if, you liked what you heard, you want to share some thoughts. Come over and join our Facebook group, the Kiss Keep It Simple, Facebook group, and that links down below. And, we do talk about these lab products. We both use them. Diana's selling them. I'm not so much anymore because I'm onto all kinds of other stuff going on, but I am addicted to it. So we highly recommend it. That link is below. So you can ask Diana any questions that you have about that. Anything else?
I think that's it. I
Yep.
think we'll see you next time.
Yep. Take care, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.